Hey, namaste. Today's practice is a Vata balancing flow with a Mandala style flow, which means we circle the mat to the right and then we circle the mat to the left. So you do the same sequence 4 times total to get you all the way each direction. So it's a very meditative, you're moving, but you're doing a lot of repetition, so it's very meditative. And then we do a very short kind of cool down and then get right into Savasana. So for class today, I have 2 blocks at the front of my mat and 2 blocks at the back. I realize not everyone has that. You don't need any blocks. You can use your leg to support you if you don't have blocks, or you can do 1 block at the front and 1 at the back if you have 2 blocks. And then I use blankets to kind of prop myself up to sitting, and then I use lots of stuff. As you can see for Shavasana, as always, I have a bolster and blanket. So whatever you've got handy, pillows, blankets, the more the merrier. But if you don't have anything, you should be fine without it. So let's get started. Let's get started in tabletop position. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And we'll do a few rounds of cat and cow with the breath, inhaling to drop the belly down, pulling the chest forward, looking straight ahead. Exhale to arch up into cat, pulling the belly button in towards the spine, looking towards the navel. Back and forth with your breath. Start to lengthen the breath if you can as you move through cat and cow. Next inhale, drop down to cow. Exhale, arch up to cat. Inhale to sit back to child's pose. Stay here for a breath. Gently come up to tabletop. Inhale to cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, child. Exhale, table. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, child. Exhale, table. Flow through this one more time with your breath. Once you've returned to tabletop, turn the toes under, hips go up and back, downward facing dog. Bend the knees as much as you'd like. You can pedal out the feet, bending one knee more deeply, straightening a little more through the opposite side. Sway the hips side to side, whatever feels good. Finding a little bit of movement in the down dog. Stretching out what needs to be stretched out. Maintaining that nice, deep, slow breath that we fostered. Look to the hands, make your way to the front of your mat, however many steps it takes to forward fold, Uttanasana. Again, bending the knees deeply if you'd like. Letting the body warm up gently. Not forcing the hamstrings to stretch more than they want, the low back to stretch more than it wants here in the beginning. Let the neck be relaxed, the shoulders be relaxed, head is heavy. Slowly roll up to standing, bending the knees a little bit and moving up one vertebra at a time. Head and shoulders come up last. Once you're up, roll the shoulders up and back. Relax the shoulders down, palms facing forward. Tadasana, mountain pose. Feel strong and rooted in the feet. And inhale raises the right knee up, one-legged mountain pose. Option to bring the arms up overhead, or they can be in prayer or down at your sides. Keeping the hips level here, the right hip might want to hike up a little higher. Try and get them as level as you feel like you can. Option to stay here, or you can cross the right ankle over the thigh, sit back to balancing pigeon pose. Right foot is active whether you're in one-legged mountain or balancing pigeon, as if you're still standing on the floor with that foot, 90-degree bend in the ankle. Sit however deeply you'd like in this balancing pigeon. Inhale to come back up, one-legged mountain pose. And then you open your hips to the right, step your right foot all the way back. We're setting up for goddess pose. Toes pointing out, 45 degrees or more if that's comfortable. 3-ish feet apart with those feet. And then when you're ready, bending into both knees. Hands can be in prayer or on the hips. Goddess pose. Adjust your stance as needed. Ideally, you want the knees over the ankles. So if you need to shorten or lengthen your stance to get there, do so. Good. Bring the hands to the knees, and we're going to do a twist. So you're going to drop the right shoulder down. Left shoulder comes up, looking off to the side. Inhale, come up. Exhale, drop left shoulder. Gentle twist through the spine. Inhale, come up. Drop your left elbow down to the left thigh. Inhale, right arm up and over for a side bend stretch. Gently return. And then right forearm down, right thigh. Left arm up, overhead. Side bend stretch, opposite side. Gaze can be straight ahead. It can be up towards that lifted hand or down towards the floor for more grounding. Inhale brings you back up. And transition to Crescent Lunge facing the back of your mat. So bending into the right knee. Left leg is straight. Hands can stay in prayer, or you can bring the arms up overhead. Keeping the low belly engaged so you're not arching a whole lot in the low back and straining the low back. Step that back foot forward just a little bit for pyramid pose, straightening through both knees, hinging forward from the hips. Blocks are a good option here for the hands, or you can keep the hands resting on the right leg. Making sure you're not hyperextending through either knee, little tiny bend in each. Keeping the knee happy. Plant the hands to blocks or to the ground and shift that right leg back for downward facing dog. We've already changed our perspective here. Downward facing dog, now facing the opposite direction. Breathe in. Breathe out, drop the knees to table and lower all the way down to the belly. On an inhale, baby cobra. No weight in the hands. Lift the chest up, the head up, really engaging through the back body. Abdominals are still tucked in. So no strain in the low back. We're staying here for an extra breath here. On an exhale, lower the forehead down. Push yourself back up to table and downward facing dog. Look to the hands, make your way to forward fold, now at the back of your mat. Roll yourself up to standing, to mountain, Tadasana pose. Take your time. Right leg lifts on an inhale again, one-legged mountain. Choose what you want to do with your hands. Option to cross the right ankle over left thigh for balancing pigeon. Yes, we're doing the same side. Mandala flows. You flow in a circle towards the right and then in a circle towards the left to complete. Inhale, come up, one-legged mountain. Exhale, goddess, open the hips up, step that right foot all the way back. Set up your feet, set up your foundation. When you're ready, bending the knees, goddess. Again, choosing where you want your hands, choosing where you want your gaze, straight ahead, or you can have a nice soft gaze towards the ground. Both hands down to the thighs. Drop the right shoulder down for a twist. Inhale, return. Exhale, drop the left shoulder, twist. Inhale, return. Drop left forearm down, side bend stretch. Inhale, up. Exhale, side bend, opposite side. Inhale, return. Exhale, crescent lunge. Now facing the front of your mat. Bend into that back knee a little bit so you can rearrange your pelvis, tucking the pelvis under a little bit more so you get a little bit deeper stretch through the front of the hip. Through the front of that left hip. And then if you want, you can straighten that knee back out. Little step forward for pyramid pose, straightening both knees, hinging forward. Hands can be in prayer, on the hips, on blocks, on your right leg, on the floor, lots of options. Plant the hands down, blocks or the ground, downward facing dog, both feet back. Deep breath in here. Exhale, lower the knees to table and all the way down to the belly. Inhale, baby cobra. Engage the core, lift the shoulders, lift the head, maybe lift the hands. Exhale, everything comes down. Inhale, push yourself up to table and back to downward facing dog. Look to the hands, walk yourself to the front of your mat, forward fold, Uttanasana. Slowly roll yourself up to standing. Once you're in mountain, feel real grounded through those feet, as if you're growing roots through your feet into the earth. Now we'll complete the circle back the opposite way. So on an inhale, lift the left knee, one-legged mountain pose. Paying attention here to that same alignment. Hips are level. Active left foot. Hand placement wherever feels comfortable. Drishti or gaze maybe at or below the horizon line. Option to balance a pigeon. Left ankle onto right thigh. Sitting the hips back, bending into that right knee. Again, keeping active through that left foot, that lifted foot. The deeper you sit, the deeper stretch you'll feel in that left hip, and obviously the more work of the right hip. Come on up to one-legged mountain. Open the hips to the left, step all the way back with that left foot, goddess pose. Set yourself up. When you're ready, bending the knees. Hands on thighs. Drop the right shoulder, twist. Stay here for a breath. Feel the length in the spine. On an inhale, exhale, twist maybe a little bit deeper. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, drop left shoulder. Stay for a breath. Inhale, come up. Exhale, left forearm to left thigh, side bend stretch. Right arm up and over. Feel length through that right side body. Stay for a breath out. Breath in brings you up. Breathe out, right forearm to right thigh. Lift the left arm up and over. Inhale, come up. Exhale, crescent lunge towards the back of the mat. Left knee is bent, right knee is working towards straight. You can play with that, bending that back knee a little bit and playing around with the pelvis. Step that right foot a little bit forward, straighten both knees, pyramid pose. This is a different side, so you might need to change up where you put your hands, how far forward you lean. Maybe you can lean further, maybe not as far. Just respect what the body is telling you or asking you. Soften your gaze. Soften your neck and shoulders. Plant both hands down, blocks or the ground. Downward facing dog. Step that left foot back. Exhale down to table, down to the belly. Inhale, baby cobra. Lift the chest, lift the head. Stay for a breath. Find length in the spine, length in the back of the neck as you lift. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, up to table and downward facing dog. Bring yourself to forward fold, walking the feet forward. Roll your yourself up when you're ready to standing. Once you're there, stand at attention, Samastahiti. Active through the legs, active through the core and the glutes. Shoulders are down and back. Inhale to lift the left knee, one-legged mountain. Option to balance your pigeon, left ankle to right thigh. Inhale to one-legged mountain. Exhale, goddess. Shift the hips towards the left. Step that left foot towards the front of the mat. Set your base. And when you're ready, bending into both knees. Hands to thighs. Drop the right shoulder down, twist. Inhale, return. Exhale, drop left shoulder. Inhale, return. Exhale, side bend, drop the left forearm. Lift right arm up and over. And return. Opposite side on your inhale. Exhale, return. Crescent lunge to the front of your mat. Left knee is bent however much. Right knee is straight however much. Choose where you want your hands. Choose where you want your gaze. Maybe try to find stillness. Step the right foot forward a bit for pyramid, straightening the knees, hinging forward, however far. Rounding out our mandala shape. Exhale to plant the hands, downward facing dog. Drop the knees, table, drop the chest, belly. On an inhale, lift to baby cobra. Exhale, come down. Inhale to table and downward facing dog. One breath here in down dog. Shake it out or find some stillness here. On your exhale, come down to the knees and make your way to sitting. We are going to sit cross-legged. You may put a block or blankets under your hips to prop you up a little bit more. You can prop up one or both knees if they're feeling like they're hanging there uncomfortably. We're going to do a twist and a fold here in cross-legged. So get yourself comfortable. On an inhale, lift both arms up overhead. Keep the gaze down towards the ground. Exhale, right arm goes back behind you. Left arm onto the right thigh for a twist. Again, finding a comfortable spot for you, where the hands go, how deep your twist is. On an inhale, bring both arms up overhead, gaze stays down. Exhale, left hand goes back, right hand onto left thigh for a twist. Find length in the spine and just a gentle overpressure with the hands to facilitate the twist. Don't force it, just a gentle little tug. Inhale to raise both arms up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands to prayer. If you're feeling a deep stretch here in the hips, stay right where you're at. Otherwise, if you want a little bit of a deeper stretch, you can start to walk the hands forward and start to fold the belly over the legs a little bit deeper. Slowly roll yourself up if you were folded forward, and then cross your legs the opposite way. So change the cross of the legs. You might need a little bit more support in this way because it's probably the wonky way for you. So do what you got to do to be comfortable. And when you're ready, on an inhale, lift both arms up, gaze stays down. Exhale, twist to the right. Stay for a beat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist left. Stay. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hands in prayer. Same option here. Option to fold forward, or if you feel a good stretch here, stay right here. Again, this side might feel different, so just respect what your body is saying. There's no need to show off, no need to prove anything. Just do what feels good in your body today. Slowly walk yourself back up to sitting. And then we'll make our way to Savasana Pose. So whatever props you've got, use them to prop yourself up. Maybe something under the knees, a bolster or pillows or blankets under the knees to help the low back release. Maybe something for the head, a blanket or a pillow for under your head. If you have a different restful pose that you want to finish with, feel free to do that. If you want to layer up with some extra clothes, socks, hats, feel free. Taking your time to get situated. And once you lie down, take a minute or two just to kind of get everything in a good spot, finding a good place for all the bits and pieces. Our movement today should help us be able to be a little bit more still now. So as you find your ideal position, try to find some stillness here. Try to feel some heaviness here. Relax the space between the eyebrows, the temples, the cheeks, the jaw, the mouth, the tongue. And slow the breath. Just let it come in and out naturally. Scan through the body if you'd like to make sure that you're not holding any tension anywhere. If you find you are guarding or holding something, try to use your breath and imagine that the breath is being sent right to that area, letting it release a little bit deeper into the earth. And then just lay here with the breath. Letting any thoughts that enter just come and go. Staying the observer. And if you find today that you can't help but run away with your thoughts, maybe try counting your breaths. In and out breath equals 1. Say 1 to yourself. Work your way up to 10. And then start back at 1. If you have more time to sit, to stay here, I would strongly encourage that. Vata does very well with up to 20 to 30 minutes of Savasana, but I know many of us don't have that kind of time to dedicate to our practice every day. So if you need to come out, gently bring yourself back to your breath, breathing in nice and deep, and sighing out. Wiggle the fingers and toes, wrists, ankles. Stretch in any way that feels good. You can nod your head side to side. And if you had the eyes closed, you can gently start to open them, reorienting yourself to your space. Take your time here getting up and really appreciate the transition between what we're doing now and what is to come. Giving yourself time to fully digest what we did and trying to take this feeling that you've facilitated over the last 30 minutes into the rest of your day. I thank you for being here with me, practicing with me. I hope you feel a little bit more grounded, a little bit more calm. And I hope to see you again soon. And until then, be well.